What is up, guys? It's Flash back with some more charts and another video. It's Friday, April 25, about 3:28 p.m. Eastern. Wanted to get a video out during market hours before the weekend hits. I want to give you guys a sense of what I'm seeing in the charts, and I truly think it is game on when it comes to MSTR, right? So I posted this on Twitter, more or less, this image. We've been in this channel for so long. Hold on, this actually isn't matching up, but it's okay. There we go. So we've been in this channel, obviously these green channels, and then using MSTR, using the ballistic acceleration model, again, microstrategist.com/ballistic, we can kind of get a sense of where MSTR is going to be when Bitcoin is a certain price. So at 150K Bitcoin, that's 1.2K MSTR. At 200K Bitcoin, it's 2.8K MSTR. So I think that's pretty powerful, and I really think this model is like spot on. You can read all about it in his blog, but MicroStrategist, just again, a saint for providing this for free. So this is pretty much it. When we look at that model and we lay it out over MSTR, 150K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin, 250K Bitcoin equates to these prices: 1,200, 2,800, 5,700. Those numbers may sound crazy to you, and maybe they are, but that is what the model is saying, and it's backed by data. And so I'm going to zoom into price action here we'll go to the 4 hour. And so, I mean, we're in this green channel. We've broken out of the blue bull flag, and this is saying, if we stay in this channel, more or less, right, by July 23rd, we're going to be at that $1,200 price point. That has Bitcoin being about 150K. I really think that's doable. If we look back at the previous channel, again, this may seem a little bit messed up, the channels, the lines, because I have this on extended hours, which I've switched to because it just has more data. But this pretty much stayed in this channel, right? I mean, it took a while for it to actually form, but it started out like this, and then, over time, it grew into this green channel. And then we got this kind of blow off top, this blow off move at the end. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in this run. This green channel, if we break out of that channel and start to go steeper, I'm going to probably look to take profit once we exit this red channel. That's going to be tough. It's hard to call when you're in the moment and when there's a lot of euphoria. But that's what I'm going to be aiming to do, guys. So whether that's at 1,200 or 2,800, it depends what Bitcoin's doing, depends what the global M2 is doing, but that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll try to post as often as I can during this run up, but I truly think it's game on. We may have it's going to be a bumpy ride. I think, we be prepared for sharp pullbacks, but I think that's the name of the game when it comes to MSTR. Volatility is vitality. And now we'll switch over to Bitcoin. So this is Bitcoin on the daily with the power law, the rainbow wave, which we know and love. Man, this is really been absolutely nuts. And so I'm gonna just pull up my Twitter. I posted this. IDK man, the 84-day offset looks pretty good. So this is the 84-day offset, right? And whether it's the 84-day, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just trying to match up. This is the global M2 phenomenon is pretty fascinating, right? Because it is kind of following it. Bitcoin is following it, which is nuts to me. But as you can see in this chart, this doesn't really take a breather. This is on the daily, so there will be some down days, but that 30-day cycle that I was talking about, I don't want to throw that out the window yet, but when a Bitcoin is bulling, it's going to bull, right? So I don't know if we want to necessarily play that 30-day cycle. Time will tell, right? But this is we're pretty much going straight up. So, this is an aggressive overlay. I don't know if we're going to reach 200K by July. That's pretty aggressive. I think I overstretched this a little bit, but I'm also thinking Bitcoin is potentially not going to take a break here. And that means this could be game on. MSTR is going to keep running. Bitcoin's going to keep running. So I really think we need to pay attention here. What I did want to look at also was MSTR measured in Bitcoin, because this chart is really also starting to break out. So this is on the 4 hour, right? And what we wanted to do was get above this kind of green horizontal zone, right? And that's currently what we're doing. So again, on the 4 hour time frame, I'll take us into the hourly. And we'll put it on Heiken Ashi so that we can kind of see it a little bit clearer. But yeah, man, this is like a pretty good, well-defined channel on the 1 hour. We're starting to interact with this green horizontal. We'll probably negotiate it with it for a little bit. I'm not sure. But this is kind of that final nail in the coffin for me to say, hey, MSTR is now officially breaking out against Bitcoin. This is the real deal. Like, we're not messing around anymore, and we need to take this seriously, because this is a potential, life-changing opportunity. For me at least, right? So I'm trying to chart the course, navigate as best I can, and just be smart with this. I was kind of trying to overtrade this maybe in the past, but man, this chart right here tells me like, hey, we haven't even really gotten started yet, because we haven't broken out officially against Bitcoin. And what I mean officially is breaking out above this horizontal. So, I mean, once this happens, there's a lot of fresh air above this here. So I'm not sure if we're going to go all the way up, but you can see here, July, maybe August, we kind of get to a 0.0082 ratio. You can see it in the upper right-hand corner. So if we do, let's just do 150,000 times 0.0082, that gives you a price target of 1,230 for MSTR. So I think that is pretty much realistic. Let's aim to be conservative, and we'll see how the charts play out. Let's aim for 150K Bitcoin. That'll give us a $1,200 MSTR. I mean, think about that for a moment. Another thing I'm looking at is MSTU. I'm not going to lie. MSTU is super interesting because it's 2x leveraged. Now, there's a lot of things to consider, right? There's leverage decay. It's pretty volatile. It's not going to be a true 2x, so to speak, but I think this is a way to play it, if you get in early enough to ride that wave, right? So 7.74 today, if MSTR goes to $1,200, I mean, MSTU is definitely going to make a higher high, I would think. So that's going from 7.74 past $30. I would think it could get up to maybe 40, 50, 60. I'm not sure. But MSTU is a very interesting play, and I'm keeping my eye on that as well. So we'll zoom in just a little bit here. We'll go to the 1 hour on MSTR just to kind of give you guys a sense of what I'm looking at on a daily basis. It's this green channel, right? So let's zoom, zoom, zoom. And so we pretty much, if we can just stay in this channel, I think we'll all be happy campers, right? So I would expect this to maybe be broken to the upside and fall back in, and then we may have to extend the channel a little bit up here, for example. Time will tell, but I think we got to chart this carefully and just be mindful, and I think we're going to be in good shape. But yeah, I mean, going back to Bitcoin, this is what we love here. We want to see this go into the bubble zone. And again, if it doesn't make a blow off top, we still have this power trend, this power law, this green line. I'll put it on the weekly for you guys. This is the power law at play. So I would just note, I am after hard sound money. I just want more and more and more of it. So if it does have a blow off and it goes into a bear market, I mean, it's going to continuing to follow the power trend, the power law. So like, man, I just can't get enough of this chart. So drop me a like if you guys found this helpful. I will keep you up to date when I can. Good luck out there. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.